Hello everyone, I'm Steve from UCAN English Tutoring. In this video, I'm going to assess one of my students' OET letter and provide the word-by-word feedback along with the feedback against each criteria plus the overall score for this letter. Let's start the assessment. So you have written down the addressee's details on the top. So you have written on Mr. Barnaby Webster, the school psychologist, 2 High Point Primary State School. That's good. And then you have written on the date here. That's fine. 7 March 2012. That's okay. And then dear Mr. Webster, because the addressee is an adult. Usually the addressee is going to be an adult. So we got to write down the surname of the addressee only. And then you have placed the comma. That's good. I'm happy with that. All right. Here's the problem. As I already said, you misspelled the name of the patient, which is not good. It should be Alison, Alison only, but you have written on double L. All right, so that is an issue. I think throughout the letter you have done the same thing. See this one, it's Alison, Alison. You need to be really, really careful, okay? You can't misspell the patient's name. Unfortunately, if the patient is a child, that's an issue. That's an issue, okay? Because it's going to be throughout your letter, which is not good. So it should be regarding Alison, Alison, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Date of birth, that's fine. Everything else is all right. I'm writing to refer Alison Cooper, who requires your assessment and management for possible psychological problem. That's amazing. Good. So the introduction paragraph, always your introduction paragraph is amazing, except the spelling mistake here. All right, so that's good. So your writing has improved a lot, tremendously. You can see the difference, isn't it, yourself? Am I right?
Definitely, sir.
So Alison Cooper. I think another student has written on copper. When they have written on another student, yeah. So it's really important that we spell the name of the patient as well as the recipient correctly. Okay, it's really, really critical. Once you finish your letter, please spend some time to proofread. Okay, it is really important that you find out the obvious mistakes, the silly mistakes like this, because they can take the score away from you, so it's not good. All right, let's go through the next one. Alison is a year 5 student who is overweight and experiences eczema on her hands as well as mild asthma. Okay. Or let's say Alison, again, that's an issue. Okay. Throughout the letter, you have done the same mistake anyway. A year 5 student who is overweight and experiences, okay. Instead of writing down usually, who is overweight, when you write down like this, it's going to be usually, the similar kind of problem. I mean, like the verb here as well. So, which means who is overweight and experiences. That means who is overweight and who is experiences. So it's better to say who is overweight and is experiencing or and experiencing eczema, or you can say and has eczema as well. That's fine. But this one doesn't make sense. Okay. And experiences doesn't make sense. So it's better to write down and experiences. You can say and has, okay, and has eczema. So that's done. That could have been much better. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, due to this, she feels embarrassed and remains isolated. Okay, let's say and remains isolated. That's good. Okay, so used the present verb here as well as here. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. Her school records revealed considerable decline in her academic performance and sport activities since grade 3. You don't need to use a comma here, okay? Only when we use, since, what you can say, in a full sentence after that. For example, since her father died a year ago, comma, and then you can say, whatever you wanted to say, that's fine. But just if it is just only a phrase after since, we shouldn't place a comma before that. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
If after since, if there is a complete sentence structure, then that is fine. That is absolutely fine. So this one is wrong. That's the first thing. And then the other thing is, okay, remains isolated. Okay, revealed consider a considerable decline. Okay, it should be
Okay.
a considerable decline. All right, that's another thing. All right, considerable decline should be a considerable decline. Okay. All
Okay,
right,
sir.
as I already mentioned, since is another issue. The comma that should not be placed. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So activities comma since grade 3. Okay. Activities comma since grade 3. So it should be activities since grade 3. That's fine.
Okay, sir.
That is okay. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. She occasionally involves in class activities. She was regularly absent to school and her concentration has been poor. That's okay. I'm happy with that. Socially, Alison lives with her mother and two other siblings. Okay. Her mother works as a bank manager for full time. Not for full time, on full time.
Okay.
On full time. Works on full time. So it should be for full time. Otherwise, you can say she is a full time manager. Okay, something like that. Full time bank manager. Okay, all right. So instead of saying for full time, you can say on full time. Sorry, you have to put an hyphen as well on full time. Okay. All right. What else? Okay. Right. Therefore, the children are looked after each other. Looked after by their paternal grandmother. Looked after by their paternal grandmother. That's okay. All right. Recently, Alison's father died of a motor accident 18 months ago. Okay. See, you used recently here and then the time phrase here. So it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So you can't use these things, recently, 2 months ago, or, you can't put this here. I mean, the 2 months ago and recently are the same thing, isn't it? Which means either phrase can be used, but not both of them. Okay. So
Yes,
you
sir.
could have removed, recently from here. That's what I feel. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So recently, sorry, recently, comma, Alison's, whatever it is. So you should have removed this. So you could have written on just Alison's father, whatever, you have to write down. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Alison's father died of a motor accident 18 months ago. Since that time, okay, that's good. If you write down since in the beginning, then you can place a comma. Okay, that is an
Okay.
exception. All right,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that's fine. But when you place it in the second half, you shouldn't do that. Okay, since that
Okay.
time, she showed noticeable changes. Okay, noticeable changes in her behavior, such as talking to self and crying. Okay, eating chips and cakes comforted her. Okay, all right, but see, these are the things. Okay, all right, and this is exactly opposite to her, isn't it? So she doesn't feel comfort because she cries. Okay, all right, but eating chips and cakes actually comforted her. Okay, all right, she felt better, or she felt good when she had chips and cakes.
Okay.
So that is opposite. So you can say, instead of writing down eating something, you could have mentioned, however,
Okay.
eating blah blah blah, make her feel good. All right,
Feel good.
made her
Yeah.
feel good. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. It is worth mentioning that Alison's school teacher contacted her mother and she informed that Alison is even reserved at home. Okay, that's fine. In view of the above, it would be appreciated if you could investigate her. It's not investigate her. It's not investigate her. That is wrong. Investigate always goes with the issue, the matter, not with the personal pronoun. It doesn't go with
No.
that. So
Okay,
you need
sir.
to investigate this case. You need to investigate this problem. You need to investigate this report. You need to investigate this issue. Something like that. So investigate her is wrong.
Okay.
You could have mentioned, you could you can okay, you could interact with her, and provide her, or or you could have mentioned you could, if you could investigate her problems, that's also good.
Yeah, I
That's fine,
missed
that's
that
all right.
word. I so
Yes, yes, investigate her. Okay, so investigate her is wrong. Okay, so investigate her problems, okay, her issues, her problems, her psychological behaviors, or something, something you wanted to add. If you could have added, that would have been great. Okay, and provide
yes.
her, provide care as you feel appropriate. That's good. Should you require any further information, please do not hesitate to contact me. Yours sincerely, the school nurse, to High Point Primary State School. Okay, 186 words. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, let me go through the assessment against each parameter. One, for the first time, your grammar has been poor in many occasions. All right, you could have worked on that.
Okay, sir.
Usually, your grammar is amazing. And the other thing is, you should not misspell. You should not misspell the name of the patient or the addressee or the recipient, Okay,
Okay.
that's wrong. So you have done that throughout the letter. Okay,
Yes.
and then use of articles, verbs, nouns, and punctuations could have been improved a lot. Okay,
Okay, sir.
all right, and some kinds of connecting phrases could have been used as well, but it's not that bad. Okay, even the prepositions, anyway, prepositions could have been better. So it's on full time, it's not for full time. Okay, connectivity could have been a bit better. All right, vocabulary is okay. I'm happy with the vocabulary. Overall task fulfillment is also good enough. Sentence structures are varied and organized well. Okay, sentence structures are organized well. Okay, so I'm happy with that. It's only the little grammatical mistakes that you have committed. Okay, so you should have addressed those things. Layout is fine. I'm happy with the layout. So passive voice form was used appropriately in sentences. So I'm happy with that. Let me see if you have included all the relevant case notes or not. Is
Okay.
this a known case or an unknown case?
Unknown case, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the writing task. Okay. Using the information in the case notes, write a letter to refer this girl to this school psychologist Barnaby Webster to assess her. Okay. Outline the purpose of the referral. Or provide details of significant factors which will assist the psychologist to make this assessment. Okay, that's all right. All right, okay, the school psychologist. Okay, right, let's go here. All right, read the case notes below and complete the writing task. Okay, that's fine. You are a school nurse to High Point Primary State School. Okay, today's date is 7/3/2012. Alison Cooper. See this one? This mistake, you have committed, and it has been reflecting everywhere, which is not
Yeah.
good. Year 5 student, DOB, that's all right. Height, that's okay. Weight 40 kilogram, overweight for her age. Did you mention this?
I mentioned overweight, sir.
Overweight, okay, all right. You could have used maybe she's obese. Okay, you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, she also has obesity, or she's, or you can say she is experiencing obesity, or she is obese. Okay, so try to use at least some kinds of synonyms, to showcase your vocabulary. All right. Otherwise, the assessor feels that your vocabulary is very limited. Okay.
Okay.
Eczema, that's good. That's fine. No other significant illnesses. Youngest in her class, that's all right. Social history, father died in motor accident 18 months ago. Lives with mother, a bank manager working full time. That's all right. Okay. All right. Middle child, brother, Simon, aged sister. You don't need to mention those their names and age. It's all right. Paternal grandmother lives near school, provides after school and holiday care, looks after children if unwell. All right, that's fine. School medical record, 3 days, 4 days, 10 days, 8 days in the first term. Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. School health center record. You have mentioned these things, isn't it?
I've
Am I right?
just told that she is regular absent to school.
She has been,
Regular.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. All right. School health center records. We've already complained of headache, gave paracetamol listed, noted eczema on hands and VP, assignment at home, complained of stomach ache, called, okay, complained of, okay, leaking legs, called up another headache. Did you use any of these things? You could have summarized this.
Okay.
You could have mentioned, she has been frequently experiencing, these things like, headache, stomach ache, and was picked up by her grandmother on many occasions, something like that.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Two.
That could have been done. I mean, you don't need to mention all of them. Just to summarize in one sentence, you could have mentioned, because look at this one, toothache, headache. You could have mentioned all those things. Okay, feeling nauseous, slightly fever. Um, so you could have mentioned, she has been picked up by her grandmother on many occasions due to a range of health problems, including headache, toothache, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Okay, it could have been much better. Okay, isn't it? So in one sentence, because that is the issue, isn't it?
Okay.
Alison started school well, but since grade 3 had trouble concentrating, rarely participates in live activities unless encouraged, avoids sporting activities. Standard of her schoolwork is declining. Okay. All right. Has a few friends and often teased by classmates about eczema and weight. Okay. See, did you mention this one?
No, sir.
This is important.
Okay.
This is important because it's about her psychology, isn't it? You're writing a letter to the psychologist. Okay, if someone teases the children, okay, I mean the child, the patient in this case, is this important from the psychological perspective? Of course it is so important. So you have
Okay.
missed one important case notes. Okay, this is really important. She has been teased. Okay, so by her classmates due to her obesity and eczema. Okay, all right.
Okay.
So when you
Okay.
have mentioned about the eczema and obese, you could have mentioned due to which she has been, she has been bullied by her classmates. Okay, something like that.
Okay.
Do you know?
Yeah,
Do you know
that.
what I mean? Yeah, you could,
Okay.
but you didn't. So that's not good. One of the
Okay.
major points was missing, which is not good. Okay, and then this one you could have summarized, quickly,
Okay.
because the problem is, it's only after the grade 3, it's following the death of her father. Okay, she started showing all these health problems. Do you understand what I
Okay.
mean? So
Yes, sir.
they are, to some extent, if they are psychologically impacted, you could have mentioned them. Yes, if they have
Okay.
got psychological connection, sometimes psychology leads to physical problems as well,
Physical
because
problems. Yes.
psychology and like it's like mental and physical problems complement each other. Okay, if your
Okay.
mental strength is good enough, it will reflect in your physical strength as well. So it's like one affects the other, unfortunately. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay.
so you could have done that. Mother was contacted by the class teacher regarding the issue. Says she became withdrawn to home, very close to her father. Okay. Did you mention these things?
Yeah, I mentioned this, sir.
What did you mention over there?
She's showing considerable noticeable changes in her behavior, like
No,
talking
no,
to
no.
self.
This, okay, no, no, no. This is different. Okay, she was close to her father. She was attached to her father more than her mother.
Okay.
So, did you mention this one? I mean, this
No.
very close to her father. That is really important. That is
Okay.
important from the psychological perspective. Yes, that is important. What is the reason? Do you understand? What is the reason behind her cry? What is the reason behind her behavioral changes? Because
Okay.
of her father's death. Okay, her father is no more, but she doesn't believe it, or she does want her father to be back. So she's a child, right? She's a little child. So from the psychological perspective, I think she can't bear the loss of her father. Do you know what I mean? She can't tolerate.
Okay.
She misses her. She misses him a lot. So you should have mentioned this one. So this point, close to her father, okay? She was
Okay.
very attached. Okay, you can say they were so close to each other, something like that, before, so that has been missing. So at least a few relevant, to be more precise, three case notes.
Okay.
All right, three case notes were missing. So you could have added them. All right.
Added. Okay, sir.
All right. Okay, let me go through the expected score now. All right, let me go through this. So you have committed, okay, the first one, all throughout the letter, you have committed the mistake in spelling. But, okay. So the grammar mistakes are not that bad. Okay, it's okay. It's not that bad. Okay, you have committed maybe let's say maybe 9, but at least maybe some of them, 1 or 2 are the recommendations only. For
Okay.
example, number 8 is a recommendation. All right, and yeah. But the real problem is the inclusion of case notes. Okay, if you
Yes.
didn't include the relevant case notes, it's going to affect your scores dramatically. All right. So, according to me, I think this letter may be able to get close to C plus, but I'm not fully comfortable to give it
Okay.
B grade for this letter. According to me, it sounds like a 290 out of 500 grade letter.
Okay.
It doesn't really look good because of the absence of the relevant case notes, at least. Okay, if you could have included the relevant case notes, this could have got maybe 300. All right, but
Okay.
there are 3 important relevant case notes that are missing.
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Okay, so does anyone else want to comment on her writing? Does anyone have any other points to be added here? You can unmute and speak out. Bharati, what's your feedback of this letter? Do you have anything to be added, Bharati? Okay, all right, that's fine. But yeah, you could have done a better job.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not up to the mark. Okay.
Yes.
All right, no worries.